President Trump has spent the past few days saying two completely opposite things about China, and both messages moved global markets. On Friday, he blasted Beijing's new restrictions on rare earth minerals as, quote, sinister and hostile, vowing 100% tariffs on all Chinese goods and declaring, quote, the rest is history. Then, just 48 hours later, he reversed course, calling President Xi's actions merely, quote, a bad moment, and posting. The mixed messages revealed an internal tug-of-war between Trump's hardliners and dealmakers. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tried to calm markets, predicting a resolution before the November 1st tariff deadline, while Vice President J.D. Vance praised Trump's friendship with Xi, but warned China not to respond aggressively, as one analyst told The Times. What's the real message here? The idea that the leader of the largest economy in the world, the United States, or soon to be second largest economy, can just one day say black is white and the next day white is black. Next day, massive tariffs, 100% tariffs. The next day, oh, kind of kidding, I still love you. And people can just swivel their necks around and not get whiplash is crazy. It's time for more people to point out this is crazy stuff. It has not broken the economy of the United States or the world yet, but how much longer can this crazy mixed messages revolving around carousel, how much more of this can we take before the whole system is broken? Let's dig a little deeper here. So this is truly bizarre. Now, listen, no politician is 100% intellectually honest and consistent. Foolish consistency, hobgoblin of little minds and all that stuff. But this is bizarre. We've really, frankly, never seen anything like this, where the leader of the free world, so to speak, at least temporarily for now, is changing the most important messages about our economy, about capitalism, about alliances, about diplomacy, every single day, sometimes twice a day. And no one knows really what to expect. Part of what has made the United States economy thrive and so dominant for so many years, for the last 70 years, is investors around the world knew there was predictability. You would get honest, fair data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You can't say that anymore. There's a rule of law. You couldn't have somebody just take over your company, push you out because they're politically connected. There was a rule of law. Well, you can't say that anymore. So we are seeing a complete erosion of the consistent messages the United States has sent for decades. The United States was supposed to be about mostly free market capitalism, rule of law, transparency, a free press that could report on the failings of a particular company. If a new Tesla truck is a dud and you're thinking of investing, you could be more or less assured that you could get accurate information from the free press. If you felt you were wrong, you could file a lawsuit. If someone charges you with a crime, you would have your day in court. Procedures, rule of law, transparency, freedom of press, constitutional. These were things that have made our economy great. They were reliable. It didn't matter if you were a Republican president, a Democrat president, or whatever, although we've only had those two in the last 70 years. Other countries, other investors around the world saw consistent messages. And now it's every other day. We hate China. We want to completely block you. We don't want any trade, 100% tax. We essentially want to make it impossible for you to sell your stuff here. And then the very next day, oh, but we like rare minerals. We like that stuff. Just kidding. Don't listen to what that guy said over here. Listen to what I'm saying here. It's every day and it's creating whiplash. And so far, let's be honest here. I call it like I see it. The critics of Trump, who certainly 6 months ago, but 9 months ago, 10 months ago, said Trump is going to lead us into a massive, massive recession this year. So far, those critics have been wrong. If in fact they said, and some did, I didn't, but some have said his policies are so crazy, so deranged, so protectionist, he is going to push us into a major recession within the next 6 months or the next quarter. This was said by a lot of people back in February, March, April. Didn't happen yet. But does that mean it's not going to happen? Folks, this can't be good when every day nobody knows what the heck is going on. It's one thing for you and me just to get up and watch CNBC for a second. Say, oh, I like that stock. Let me pull up a Robinhood. Let me invest $100 in this stock. That's easy. But people who run serious companies and are planning how to invest capital, whether it's $1 million, $100 million, billions of dollars, they're trying to predict the future. They're trying to say, if I invest $1 billion in these server farms today, I would anticipate some rate of return, ideally 20% or more per year, that's going to hit after 3 years. They have to plan the future. How do you plan the future if you don't even know if you're going to be able to own your own company in 5 days, much less 5 years? So that's the real problem with this constant changing of messages. Now, as some of you have heard me say, I'll say it again if this is your first time in the show. This is not a political punditry show. This is not Fox, MSNBC. I'm here as someone who has worked with business leaders and political leaders for the last 40 years, helping them communicate and communicate effectively and to improve their personal development skills. So this show is about looking at top business stories, technology stories, culture stories, filtering it through the lens of communication skills. And while President Trump is a very skilled communicator, he's great at getting attention. He's great at agitating a base. He's great at getting the spotlight. He's world class. He's perhaps the best in the entire world. But there are drawbacks. If you're constantly shifting your messages every single day on the fundamental nature of how our entire economy should be run, it causes problems. And at some point, it might not just be the temporary blip. Last spring, it seemed like a million years ago. People lost, in some cases, depending on what index they were in, they lost a third of their net worth if they were heavily invested in the stock. Now, the Dow and the NASDAQ didn't go down a third, but it went down, wow, way more than 20%. It really hurt a lot of people, but enough people said, oh, this guy doesn't really mean it. Let's just go back to the way things were. And hey, AI spending is propping us all up and the stock market is growing. So we're going to pretend all this mixed messaging nonsense. I'm a capitalist, I'm a protectionist, I'm a capitalist, I'm a protectionist coming out of the White House doesn't matter. So we did get through that without the economy going into recession, without it being destroyed. Will we be able to continue doing that? I don't know. And if you're honest, you don't know either.